Hello, Vermont. We are here on SOW Ignition, and we are in a very, well, let's say homey arena tonight here in Vermont.
Yeah, it's feeling nice and cozy in here, kind of feeling homage to the beginning of SOW, as we are only 1 week away from the anniversary show and episode 50.
And we are starting with the Grand Prix Onyx League. Jay Wukong, Bray Windham, both at 2-2. This is a pretty important match because the loser of this could actually find themselves effectively ejected from the possibility of qualifying for the finals, semifinals specifically.
Yeah, we are reaching the point of the tournament where for some of these guys who have had those even performances, basically their 2-2 records, it's almost put up or shut up time for them. Some of the guys in the upper brackets on both sides, especially our world champion and one of his former rivals, Meiji Kaito, they are both looking to lock up one of those semifinal spots. They both are undefeated here in going into round 5.
Absolutely. One thing to note about that is, I mean, if they win tonight, it's not like, if they win in this round, I should say, it's not a guaranteed final place for them. However, should both of them win both in this round and the next round, or should certain performances occur throughout the rest of round 5, that could absolutely lock up the top, or at least a spot in the semifinals for Meiji and Ryan. So they can't rest on their laurels yet, but they're definitely got to be feeling pretty comfortable, as it's going to be tough for anybody to catch up as Bray uses the ropes to assist with a sweet dream there early on in this match.
And Bray's one of those guys where if we stop the tournament early, he started off with a really rough performance.
I mean, yeah, if this was the same style we did originally, where there was only, I believe the original only had 10 competitors, that meant for, what, 4 rounds? He would already be out.
Yep, and then Jay started off hot and has kind of cooled off. So they're kind of like on opposite trajectories here, but now, like, one guy can look to seize the momentum, and again, doesn't guarantee, like you said, doesn't guarantee eliminate the other, but, it becomes one of those, well, if A, B, and C happen, that leaves a chance for D and E to happen, and maybe if we're lucky, if F also happens, then A can happen.
Yeah.
Kind of scenario starts to play out for these guys, and when you're in a round-robin tournament like that, that's where you start to sweat.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're in the position of someone like Meiji or someone like Ryan, you're pretty comfortable because you know that there's only very specific things that can cause you to no longer qualify. And they're very much in your control. It's, do you lose to this guy who's close to your score or not? And in fact, for Ryan right now, he's actually looking very comfortable because one of the only people close to his score, Caster, is a man he's beaten. Of course, he still has to, in fact, actually now, I can't even say that because he's also just beat Kurata and cost Kurata his undefeated record.
Oh, wait a minute.
Nice big elbow. But he had just cost Kurata the undefeated record not long ago. So as it stands, Kurata and Caster kind of need Ryan to lose 2 matches. Otherwise, neither one of them will be able to beat him in a tiebreaker. Only one of them would be able to qualify.
Things are getting exceptionally interesting. Again, like I was saying earlier, we are only 1 week away from the anniversary show. We saw Victory Lap live next week, which will feature some pretty big matches in the Summer Grand Prix once we get past tonight. But this tournament has been full of twists, turns, and surprises.
Yeah.
We're going to see if one of these 2 men in the ring can look to have a surprise of their own. If I were to pick someone right now between these 2 guys to win, I'm going to say Jay Wukong gets a big bounce-back performance. That's a bold proclamation and prediction from me here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to bet on the unbounded one in any kind of one-on-one contest. His performance as of late, some have attributed it to he's just been facing the top guys in the tournament. He's got a couple of rough rounds against people who are more than equipped to deal with the amount of power that Jay Wukong can throw around. And as we know that once you're able to keep up with that, once you're able to survive all of the impact, Jay can have a hard time. I mean, we've seen him run out of breath many times. Big spear from Bray.
While Bray is looking to gain some kind of momentum for the entire House of Troubles, as he is, he's got the most wins of all three members at 2. ZC Woods winless in the Grand Prix so far, which, again, never in a million years would I have predicted an 0-4 start for the Troubled Child.
Yeah, ZC Woods being 0-4, I think, is pretty much the collective shock for everybody. We all thought that he would be in that upper echelon, near the top, in fact. I personally had him predicted to be right behind Meiji.
Kind of on the flip side of the other way, Damian Oxley 0-4 as well. So the two people you think are going to have strong tournaments are actually having really rough goings, which is dangerous for both of them with some things we have in the pipeline coming up.
I mean, absolutely. Oh my God, a shoulder tackle from the second rope there.
That was insane.
But Jay's not done. He's putting him back up top. And oh my God!
Oh God! Oh!
Slipped through and then lifted him up for a wheelbarrow suplex, but onto his face.
Almost as if he spoke it into existence, talking about what can happen when you keep up with the power of Jay Wukong. Ray is doing that in this match.
Yeah, I mean, Jay is very, look at that, exactly what's happening. The more Jay is forced to do in a match, the harder it becomes for him to keep pace, and the easier it becomes to find those openings and slip him through. And I mean, one thing I've noticed just a little bit ago, I'm pretty sure I'm seeing a good bit of red on Jay's forehead.
Yeah, that man is bleeding. It's not gushing or anything, but it is enough to cause some problems the longer a match goes.
And that can also affect your breathing rate. Oh my God! Sweet dream! Slipped through!
Will that be the end of Jay Wukong's dream to the Summer Grand Prix?
And it is!
Wow! My prediction completely wrong. I jinxed Jay big time. Announcer's jinx. My bad, buddy.
Yeah, Bray Windham just showing a dominant performance here as this Grand Prix continuing. All right, we've got the national champion coming to, I'm assuming, answer the challenge that was posed to him by Byron Mitchell last week. Obviously, we already know that match is confirmed, but we haven't actually got to hear from Ray about it yet.
Not only is it confirmed, but it's actually I believe it's the main event next week.
Yes, it is.
Not gonna lie, pretend like I know what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't speak a whole lot of Spanish myself, unfortunately. I know what gracias means, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was like, I actually know something.
I know what loco means, too.
I call it a gut feeling, but I'm not sure if it's just the absence of tag team gold that sent Byron off the edge. There's definitely something else going on there.
I mean, it's hard to speculate because I genuinely, he was just gone and then he showed up and was off the rocker.
Oh, a little spicy.
out Byron Mitchell to, well, I mean, I don't, muscle leader? I'm not sure what his position in the Paradise is, but it seems Ray wants him to come to the ring. And it seems he's not interested in doing so.
We're referring to Kevin Daniels as a wannabe luchador.
Yeah, I'm sure not. I've heard some rumblings that not very many people were impressed with his reveal of himself as Death Panther in the Lucha Circle. Oh!
Uh-oh. Not a lot of theatrics here, thanks to this small arena, but the Paradise have descended upon the ring, though notably without Byron.
Yeah, it's Kevin, Lilith, and Beelzebub. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I know Beelzebub will be in action later tonight against Castor in the round 5 match for the Emerald League. But he doesn't necessarily look interested in starting a fight here. I mean, it's hard to tell without, you know, with the whole mask covering his entire face aspect.
Speaking of masks, Kevin Daniels almost alluding to Death Panther more as like an alter ego, like a different personality. Because he keeps saying he's not breaking the rules of Lucha Libre, but we know exactly who's under the mask.
Yeah, as far as I know, the rules of Lucha Libre are that you can't unmask. And if you unmask, you can't wrestle under the mask, under that name, for like a 5-year time period. And I'm pretty sure saying that you are the guy under the mask would count as unmasking. I can't, I'm not like a Lucha Libre official, so I can't clarify that, but it feels like that is doing the same thing.
I would have to agree, and again, no Lucha Libre experts at this commentary booth, but
well, the second of our 4 Queen of the Hill qualifiers is about to start as Kat Roberts looks to make it into one of our more prestigious matches here in SOW, as does Maria. For either one of them, this would be a first time. In fact, for most of the roster, this is an opportunity to join that match for the first time. A match which is well known for having started our women's division here in SOW.
yeah, it was just a match between the OG4. Maria actually joining very shortly after that match took place, and it would mean a lot to her, I'm sure, to not only enter that match, but to win it, because as we know from Hera last week, the winner will get a shot at the Women's National Championship, which means Maria can once again get her hands on her former stablemate, Charlie C.
Absolutely. She'd probably adore an opportunity to try and take away that belt from Charlie and continue to show why she was brought in to the jurisdiction as effectively their muscle. Even though she herself seems to claim that she never really joined them. It was more an experiment.
I just don't know if we can believe that when she literally like forced Dia Keaton to fall unconscious against Bea Quinn.
Yeah, I mean,
just hanging around for shits and giggles, you don't go to that risk, that extreme, because I mean, ever since then, Dia's, before her injury especially, just had her eyes constantly locked on Maria every chance she got.
And I mean, whenever Dia returns, I'm sure that will continue to be the case. And now likely eyes on Doe as well, because Doe was the one who, I mean, injured Dia and cost her, at this point, up to 2 months of her career. I'm sure Dia won't take kindly to that either.
Queen Chaos is going to have a whole list of people she'll be seeking revenge on when she gets back. So definitely put the entire women's division on notice, which is what both these women are trying to do by winning this match. And launching their ticket to Rev Your Engines.
And they've got both of them have a pretty hard road ahead of them. I mean, Kat Roberts has been fairly impressive in the early goings of her career here in SOW. I mean, remember that she was technically a rookie. She's one of the only rookies we've actually brought on as a full-time main roster competitor outright instead of having them stay in the dojo. There's a lot of faith in her ability, and she's rewarded it with some great performances.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a very, again, when you consider the lack of experience, she's coming into tonight with a 3-3 record. That's very respectable in a division and a company as competitive as this one.
Absolutely. It definitely makes her one of the ones to look out for as we continue, because the more she wrestles, win, lose, draw, the more she wrestles, the more experience she'll have and the better she'll get.
Most definitely. While Maria Ramirez kind of having an up and down season here in this match with a 4-6-2.
And the Grand Prix did not go the way Maria was, I believe, planning for it to go. She wanted to win the whole thing and then go take on Bea Quinn in a proper match. But instead, she couldn't even qualify for the semifinals.
Nope. And then one of her, let's say, most storied rivals will be in action later tonight, also trying to qualify when La Sombra Altissima takes on Cameron Stone. And man, if both of them make it into the match, think about what history that adds to Queen of the Hill.
I mean, absolutely. Maria and Sombra both in Queen of the Hill. That's so many feuds could interconnect because we already know Nishi's qualified. If Sombra and Maria make it in, and then Bea is able to, you know, win the qualifying match that has been set up for her next week, that could be a... That could be...
We don't have to pretend.
There's an if. There's an if. There's an if. So if she's able to do that, that final four could be a very interesting series of histories and rivalries here in SOW.
And also it's going to be a 3 women who do not like Bea Quinn match.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we've got an alternative scenario where Kat Roberts and Cameron Stone both make it in, as well as Nakashima Kasumi, leaving us with a very interesting series of, well, not necessarily all newbies, because Kasumi's been around for a while, but newbies to SOW, and then somebody who's come very close to gold, but never quite gotten it, in Nishikazumi.
Yeah, if we end up with that array of competitors, I have to say you'd be a fool to not put all your chips in Nishikazumi's corner.
I mean, it'd be a very good bet, to say, for the very least. Now we're getting a back and forth between Kat and Maria, both of them dropping big bombs with their fists. Neither one backing down, but for Kat, that might not be the best idea, as we see Maria takes her down with a huge blow. Now a series of strikes, palm strikes to the chin.
Disrespectful while catching the cheek with one of them.
And a rolling senton. We've seen how much damage that rolling senton can do. She's managed to take out a couple competitors with it in the past. We've even seen it nearly injure a competitor before. It's definitely not a move you want to take more than once if you can avoid it.
Speaking of avoiding, Maria does avoid an attack right there. And now Smash kind of resetting for just a second. Kat Roberts with a very impressive takedown there.
Maria catches her backbreaker into a body slam, goes for the cover. I cannot blame her for that. A backbreaker like that immediately compounded with a body slam, but wait! Goes for a lariat, gets caught with a DDT from Kat Roberts. We're going for C3 right here. Oh!
Nope, not yet. Maria's not done. I don't think she quite got that DDT form she was looking to get. It did not keep Maria down.
It wasn't the jumping DDT, that much is for sure. Oh, wait a minute, again!
She's trying again!
Catches her into the cover. This one could do it. But Maria, oh my God. Staying down.
This kind of resilience and endurance from Maria Ramirez in the past. So you have to imagine that Kat can't be super surprised. This woman can take some hits.
Yes, she can, as she leans them out as well with the bloody cross. Could that be it? No, Kat stays in it as well.
Well, she is hurt. She is staying down for a good moment there. You have to fight her way back into this one. Maria trying to keep that momentum firmly in her corner. And this is a good way to slow that right back down.
Nice series of strikes into a huge elbow to the top of the head from Kat, following that with that shoulder choke. And now, Kat looking to take the advantage here in the match. Knee drop to the chin, but kick out at 2 still. Oh, a headbutt right onto the back of the dome, but Kat staying alive in it. Locks the arm around into a headlock.
Trying to go for a submission victory, but I think I'd go for
Oh my God.
DDT.
Oh my God. Pile driver. Pile driver.
That could be it. Maria is not winning yet. Unbelievable.
Kat Roberts. I mean, we talked about Maria's resilience. Let's talk about Kat's as she manages to hook in a 3rd DDT. This has got to do it. That's the... Whoa. I don't know what these two are made of. This is like 2 steam engines that just ain't running out.
This is showing you how bad both these women want to go to the Queen of the Hill.
Running forward for that punch, but gets caught with a rolling punch after a dodge. Maria going straight for the cover. She's knocked people out with that rolling punch before. Oh, the hot shot driver!
That has got to be it for Kat Roberts.
Wait, Maria didn't cover.
Now that's a mistake. That's a mistake right there.
She's playing with her food.
That's bit her in the past.
And Kat's looking to make sure it punishes her again here. But Maria fights her way off, gets off the top rope, and immediately locking up the ankle. A reversal of the whip to the corner, and now smashing the head into the turnbuckle. Jesus. Measure knee lift. This is the setup, but Maria catches her.
Oh, wow, what a counter.
Chops her down, lifts her up off the ropes, rolling wheel senton. And she goes for the cover this time. She doesn't want to take another risk.
Wow. Well, you said earlier she's beaten women with it before, and oh, come on now. This is unnecessary.
Oh my God.
Well, statement made by Maria tonight, for sure.
And now it is time for the Emerald League to continue. Beelzebub is gonna take on the Emperor, Caster Leakton. And I mean, it seems like there's some tension in Last Will.
I was gonna say a little more than tension, possibly. Elijah in particular seems
done. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. I don't think he necessarily cares to continue. But to talk about the match at hand, I mean, Beelzebub had a bit of a rough start with having to face the world champion in his first round match. And then he had a bit of an upset loss, some would say. I mean, I guess it's not really a full upset given we don't know much about Beelzebub. But from the performances he had in his second and third round, many people were expecting him to beat Steve Levy in the fourth round as well. But Steve managed to gain his first win in the tournament against Beelzebub and has actually put Beelzebub in a pretty rough position because he's still got a few of the top competitors left, including Caster. And if he doesn't win against these guys, he's going to be pretty much locked out of the finals.
Well, Caster is looking to essentially keep pace with Karada Hideaki here for second place.
Yeah, I mean, they will face each other. They will face each other next round. Round 6 will have Caster taking on Karada, and some are saying that the winner of that match will be the semi-finalist alongside Ryan as their predictions. Obviously, we don't know for sure who
Caster will have to win tonight, though.
He will have to win tonight, and I mean, both of them have to continue winning and maintain, because if either one of them loses where the other wins, that drawbreaker could end up not mattering.
So what's your take on Beelzebub now that we've seen a few matches of his?
I mean, he's got a very high-flying style like many luchadors tend to. I've actually seen him do quite a lot off the top rope. He hits this like 450 or 630 sentons. He hits a Phoenix splash that feels really deadly, and I'm gonna say that Steve Levy barely managed to make it out of. And he's got a few other, like I've seen him do a shooting star press and a shooting star DDT. On top of that, he's just constantly running around the ring. He definitely feels like he's got a lot of speed and impact whenever he needs it. I've never really seen him tire out. And, I mean, look at that right there. Huge leg drop with a like a full spin on it.
Also hit that Nagadoni Ali style punt kick there, a soccer kick that we've seen him do a few times, and reminds me of someone else too, but it's been so long since we've seen him. And I'm talking about, of course, the former world heavyweight champion, Hermes Rhapsodies, who Harris says is still recovering at home.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how bad the injuries Hermes sustained in his match against Clint were. All we know is that he is supposedly, or at least as far as we've been told, not clear to recover, or not clear to return to the ring.
Yeah, no, it was one of those severe concussions that you hear about in wrestling that but probably hasn't ended his career, but it has shelved him for a significant amount of time.
Yeah, we'll have to hope that one day we'll see him back in this ring. And I mean sooner rather than later, preferably. But right now, Beelzebub with a spin through flatliner to the Emperor, goes for the cover and gets a 2. Pushes him down, and with that sliding kick he's been using for a good amount of time since he came in here. Oh, but Caster scouted the senton off the top. That's gonna do a good amount of damage.
I was just about to say that Caster feels like he was kind of on the back foot in this match, because Beelzebub has a completely different style compared to even the other luchadors here in SOW, and Caster seemingly caught off guard by it, but God, the thought entered my head, and the Emperor starts to do Emperor things.
Yeah, it's very clear he had that 450 senton scouted very well. He was waiting for the best opportunity to slip out of the way, and now you can see he has taken full control in this match following that. And Beelzebub is going to start fighting back with a poison Rana.
That'll do it. Hell, that can win you the match. I'm going for a cover there.
It looked like he wasn't done yet, though, and off the ropes, slides through, takes the Emperor's legs out from under him. Now it's the Emperor trips Beelzebub, catches the ankle, and is really twisting at it. The more damage, you notice he's been focusing heavily on the legs of Beelzebub. The more you can slow him down, the more you reduce the impact of those moves. Those kicks, those running moves, he can't build up the momentum he needs to really inflict the damage he's looking for.
Yeah, Caster clearly has a strategy in mind here to ground the high-flying Beelzebub.
Oh, but a flatliner! With the leg caught. And then a drop kick to the face after a backslide feint. But Caster, oh, Beelzebub picked him up, looking for any kind of maneuver off of that back position. And Caster's so quick to slip through and catch the legs again. Jesus, that kick to the back of the head, though.
Stunned the Emperor, at least for a moment. We've seen him bait Beelzebub a couple times in this match. Oh my God, trying to tap out.
That's the Hoss of Pain. I haven't seen people use that submission, I mean, pretty much ever outside of Charlie himself. Oh my God!
That was explosive, but the Emperor rises to his feet first, and Beelzebub looks tired.
Yeah, the Emperor's submissions and holds have actually worn Beelzebub out, something we haven't seen in any of his prior matches. He does look quick to recover, though. Oh, went for a super kick. The Emperor dodged to the side.
The strikes are keeping Beelzebub in this match.
Slips behind with the Emperor with a back elbow and a back fist, goes for a confident cover. Beelzebub, of course, forces the foot off, and now the Emperor goes for a powerbomb, and Beelzebub slips through.
I thought he was going to steal one for a second. What an upset that would be. And a tournament full of surprises.
Both men are now looking for the advantage on the floor, and the Emperor ends up kicking Beelzebub off, realizing that he wasn't going to get what he was looking for. Sliding drop kick, Beelzebub up top, 450 senton lands it square, but he is stunned a little still. He has taken more damage than he normally would have. He gets up top, waits, and catches him with the head scissors off the top. Kick to the back, followed by a soccer kick to the face. And then a single leg drop kick. Sends him into the ropes, passes by, and another head scissors. But he's not done yet. Another head scissors takedown. Beelzebub
right now
is fired up.
Oh my God!
Standing Spanish fly. Oh, but Caster reverses out of the corner. Huge European uppercut.
Not going for a single cover in that sequence could bite Beelzebub in the ass. We'll see.
And Caster with a vicious back fist, looking to take Beelzebub out as he starts with a power bomb, and Beelzebub counters the second power bomb attempt. Another flatliner. Beelzebub takes Caster down with a big, oh my God, oh my God, a Canadian rack DDT, hooks both legs, that could do it, but no, the Emperor's still in it, and the Emperor picks him up, power bomb.
Jesus Christ.
1, 2, oh my God.
These two are flirting with a draw.
They sure are. Double kicks. Two caster. Huge elbow takes the Emperor down. And now rubbing the elbow in his face. An insulting gesture, but the Emperor back up, hits a huge senton, and he's looking to end it. Wraps him up. Hydrangea! And he taps out!
Wow, what a match. What a victory. You can't even nail it, but that was a hell of a performance, but I will stand by this. He should have went for a pin in that earlier sequence.
Well, here come the bangers for some reason.
Yeah, what in the world do these three? We're going to have a damn good night of fine tournament, F1 qualifiers, the Queen of the Hill, and now we got to hear what these three have to say.
Oh, what? Doe's calling out Aiko? And here she comes. And it sounds like she was actually here waiting, given the quick response there.
Yeah, I'd say she almost expected this.
And knowing Aiko, it wouldn't be surprising if she'd been watching and keeping track of Doe's records.
Almost definitely not. I mean, Aiko basically put that stipulation on her because she wanted Doe to get better. Fix her again.
I would say that is most likely the exact logic, because that is kind of Aiko's MO with everyone she faces. She's always wanted everyone around her to improve, because the better her opponents are, the better she has to be. And it sounds like Doe is interested in ending the undefeated streak of Kimura Aiko here in Season 2 and taking her title.
Well, it definitely wasn't just Kimura Aiko. It's more than a one-person Queen of the Hill match. Think of, really hell, down to the last 2 minutes, there was 3 people in it.
There was, yeah.
Oh. Oh boy, and you knew this was
immediately assaulting the world champion as soon as she's taught, while she's in the middle of making her own speech. They didn't let her finish.
More disgusting behavior. Oh wait, here comes the rest is shining.
Yeah, this is now a 3v3 situation rather than a 1v3. Very good that Nishi and Kimiko were both in the building tonight, and I mean, in the ring gear at that. They must have been expecting something to go off.
This is not the kind of behavior that Hera typically tolerates for someone who just asked for a world title match on pay-per-view.
And just as you were alluding to, here she comes.
Okay, she's giving her what she wants. That's, I'm not gonna lie, a little unexpected.
A little bit. So a 6v6 tag, huh? Or a 3v3, I guess I should say, 6-person tag.
Timed entry tornado rules?
That sounds a little familiar. Well, we've only got 2 matches left. And up right now is a second of 2 Queen of the Hill qualifiers we have tonight as Cameron Stone takes on La Sombra Altísima. So right now,
Sombra's rival joined the match earlier tonight, and now you know that's probably got her extra fired up to punch her own ticket to Queen of the Hill.
I mean, I would say so for sure. But Cameron definitely is somebody who wants to start proving herself more and more here. This isn't her first wrestling company in the same way as it is for Kat Roberts, but it is her first major one. And it's something very important to state is that in reality, while she has worked on indies before, she was working as a trainee on almost all the indies she had worked on before, and was in the SOW dojo at the start of the year.
She's worked her way up quickly. I mean, she calls herself top shelf shit, and she's really trying to live up to that moniker, which, you know, it's one of those monikers you give yourself because you believe in your own abilities. Now, she's not able to find a great level of success, but she's I'm not saying she's bad or anything. She's had a relatively solid season, entering this match with a 4-5 record, which puts her, you know, solid, middle of the road. And for your first real season, and your first main roster run, that's a pretty good start to a career.
I mean, yeah. If you can maintain that even spread of wins to losses, you're doing really well for yourself, especially early on. I mean, even top competitors wouldn't be too upset by that. They might be a little frustrated. But in reality, you can take as many losses as you need as long as you win when it counts.
That would be one of those wins that really counts.
Yeah, it would get you.
What it would do for her morale would be nuts. Not only do you get back to 500, but you get a pay-per-view match.
Exactly. And you could potentially get a second one if you win that Queen of the Hill. As always, Cameron Stone wears that pink and black in homage to her favorite wrestler, Bret the Hitman Hart. A man whose moveset she has integrated into herself with, some would say, a good bit of finesse. Though she doesn't emulate every single, characteristic of his, she knows how to employ what he did and employ it well.
She'll need to do it to take down La Sombra Altísima.
As La Sombra is a woman who can swap styles on a moment's notice, going from impact to strike to high speed to submission. I mean, in the blink of an eye. You never know. She's one of those luchadors you never know, or I guess luchadoras, you never know what she is actually going to do in any given moment.
When she took the division by storm when she arrived in Season 1, kind of similar to Maria, in that the Grand Prix did a lot of more harm than good for her, but don't be fooled by a 3-6-1 record. She is a legitimate competitor and one of the best female wrestlers in the world.
Absolutely. Her early run in Season 1 was more than proof of that. As now Cameron Stone looking to lock her up with a figure 4. But Sombra quick to slip out, and a little bit of red from her tonight. You can see it peeking just over the top of that mask.
Yeah, I think she might have got caught slightly. Sometimes all that wrestling gear can do just as much damage as a steel chair sometimes.
Absolutely. We saw a Karen lift suplex there from Cameron, and now Sombra up top. She's stalking. She's waiting, and oh my God, the Nightshade!
Wow, she caught it flush into the pin.
But Cameron's able to survive it. That Nightshade top rope stunner is a huge impact move. And Cameron counters that attempt at a Frankensteiner with a big power bomb.
And that's one of those moments where if she just went for a regular standard pin, that might have made the world of difference. Sometimes you roll your opponent around and kind of wake them back up for a second. That's all it takes in wrestling.
And now Sombra off the ropes.
Not necessary. Not speaking flashy.
Deja vu into a head scissors. And now she's been caught. Carolyn lift suplex again. But Sombra's back up and catches Cameron. Trying to lift her over for a brainbuster to the outside, but ends up getting slipped inside herself. And now a snap head scissors. Catches the legs and working the legs with that leg lock there. Cameron manages to punch herself free. Strong kick combination from Sombra. This match doesn't seem to have a clear favorite at the moment. Both women reversing the momentum one after another. Oh, crucifix driver, but oh wait! The rope's not quite close enough.
Yeah, but she wasn't able to reach him.
It was just a tight enough pin that Cameron was forced to kick out instead of getting to employ those ropes for the easy break pin. Neither one of those Carolyn lifts. Those have been doing.
Very fond of them.
Yeah, they've been doing a good bit of damage. And I mean, she was close to getting a cover off of that one. Oh, the short arm cutter!
Out of nowhere!
I think Cameron thought she was getting whipped to the corner, but instead got pulled back into a cutter. And now Sombra reverses the attempt to go to the corner, goes up top, head scissors, snaps her to the center of the ring, lifts her back up. And Cameron switches around, catches the leg, ankle lock.
Keeps him unable to capitalize there. Sometimes you gotta be very careful when you're starting a sequence where you pick your opponent up because you leave yourself open to be countered a little more easy.
And now it's Cameron caught in a leg lock, chooses not to use the ropes this time, saying she doesn't need them, breaks out of her own power, caught in a backslide. Oh, a pendulum backbreaker there. Yeah, it's got Sombra stunned. But Sombra, once again, catches Cameron as Cameron tries to take advantage.
Now wait a minute.
No, it looks like she doesn't have anything. I think she was pushing something back under the ring, actually. Something seems to have been slipped out at some point.
Sequence there, but now the wrestling goes back into the ring.
No sign.
We're going back to the outside.
And Sombra comes out with a tope.
Ooh. Tope torpedo, damn.
And Sombra now back immediately into the ring. Doesn't take too much time out there. That was smart. But oh my God, Cameron! Really trying to make Sombra tap, and you can see how slowly Sombra's crawling. She has to force herself free. Enziguri to the back of the head, goes up top, and she is stalking Nightshade!
And that is probably, well, okay, fancy pin.
Locks her up, looking to try and stop her from getting the ropes, and she manages it, but pile driver! Into the cover, single leg hooked.
No, wow, these women tonight, they are fighting their asses off, all four that we've seen.
They want to get into that Queen of the Hill. And now Cameron sends Sombra to the corner. Shotgun drop kick. Cameron goes up top. Double stop to the chest. Deep in there.
Caved it in. And she kicked out. What?
I cannot believe Sombra survived that. As they're now going back and forth, blow for blow. Huge kick to the chin. Stomp to the leg.
Need to capitalize here.
Spanish fly. And she's got the arm. She's got the leg. The tequila sunrise.
Oh my. Queen of the Hill is looking like a familiar sight for many.
If Bia qualifies, this is going to be a scary match for her. And it is time for the main event here on Ignition 49. As the Dallas Taylor, the Phantom, the last member of the House of Troubles, who is still viable to qualify. However, for him, this is a must-win match against the current reigning and defending SOW World Heavyweight Champion, Ryan Richardson.
Who is also undefeated in this tournament. To say that this is a huge challenge for Dallas Taylor is probably an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the most difficult route that could have appeared before him, because it's not just a matter of Dallas winning this match. There are like 12 other things that have to happen if he wants to qualify, and most of them are out of his control. But what he needs to focus on now, if he wants to stay in this, is finding that rare moment where you can defeat the Dragon Slayer. We know it's possible. We've seen it done. Meiji's done it. Nagatomi's done it. Dallas has to get on their level and take down the Dragon Slayer. Otherwise, he can kiss his hopes of making it into the finals. Hell, making it into the semifinals. Goodbye. And Ryan, he is not going to make that easy.
He is not. Those elbow strikes are vicious.
I mean, they're so vicious, Dallas immediately forced his way out of them.
Yeah. Did get it confirmed just now, though. So it's official. Next week on Fuel Cell Victory Lab, Death Row will defend their World Tag Team Championships against The Honor.
That'll be interesting, to say the least. I mean, as far as we know, The Honored have really not had a proper chance at the championships, right?
Well, I think they've always fallen just short of an opportunity.
Yeah, because they didn't get to face the Dark Crusade for the titles. I believe they were just short of facing Moment for Life, because Moment for Life only defended those belts successfully 3 times. Once was against the Wild Monsters, once was against the Dark Crusade, once was against Last Will, and then the last time when they lost the belts was Death Row. And obviously this will be Death Row's second, I believe, title defense, with their first one having been against Meat. So this is The Honored's first opportunity at the titles.
That is insane to think about. I mean, next week is going to be a special show in so many ways. National title on the line, tag titles on the line, big 6-woman tag. And then some huge matches in the Summer Grand Prix, but I don't know if there's one bigger than Meiji Kaito versus Aaron Payne.
And we've got the rematch of the century, one of the most prolific and well-beloved matches in SOW history. Those two competitors stepping back in the ring against one another again. And I mean, as things currently stand, that has the potential to be a determinate match for the semifinals.
That's crazy to think about. And, the whole roster's going to be watching that as well. I mean, the card for next week is just, it's incredible. I mean, it really is. We don't know truly the level of stakes that we'll have in some of the Grand Prix matches. I think there's a lot of matches to go between now and then. But just on paper, it's like a paper for free.
Oh,
this is a super show amongst super shows. Hera and Carrie have put together something special for this one.
Absolutely. And getting back to the action in the ring, Dallas has actually started to take control here in this matchup, putting Ryan on the back foot for, well, I mean, it has to feel like a shock to the Dragon Slayer. He's not used to having someone who doesn't usually compete in singles competition put him back like that. But now he's looking to take back the favor to his court. Multiple headlocks here, really wrenching the breath out of Dallas's lungs, trying to wear him down as much as possible.
He's doing what he can, that is for sure.
And now, locking him up, triangle choke applied into a series of elbows, but Ryan was technically on the ropes himself, and you can't be there for a submission.
Well, he does have till 5 if he wants it.
Yeah, he did. He chose to break it up there, but he could have kept going. We get a shoulder tackle.
A lot of people have Dallas Taylor as a huge underdog, and on paper, I'm sure you can see why. But you have to consider he is technically a former World Tag Team Champion.
Yes.
In this company, that is hard to do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've only had 6, and 2 of them are current.
Exactly.
Oh, a huge lariat, but Ryan quick to get up, and oh my God, tricking around to a kick to the back of the head. Dallas Taylor's really looking to take advantage, but Ryan catches him with a butterfly suplex, and Dallas kicks out.
Drive the ropes too, and force a kick out.
Bulldog.
Every time we think, oh man, Ryan could be in trouble here. Oh my God, hello.
Bulldog right into the lapel lock. Dallas slips free. I mean, he was close to the ropes either way, so I think Ryan noticed that and loosened his grip to let go, so Dallas took advantage to break out. Ryan was definitely going to look to drag that back to the center if he could have.
Ryan being certainly cocky a couple times in this match. It'll be fine if he pulls out the win.
But a sit-out facebuster! And it almost gets there, but not quite.
We're both dead silent watching that pin, thinking, God, is there a world where Dallas Taylor beats Ryan Richardson?
There almost was. I mean, like I said, he's been on the front foot in the majority of this match, really making Ryan feel like the underdog with the way the match is flowing. Spinebuster, Ryan pops back up.
At the same time, though, Ryan lives for that shit. He loves being the underdog.
Flips through the German kick to the back. And now it's Dallas who rolls through into a drop kick to the chest of the Dragon Slayer. And they are putting on a show here. Series of short elbows stuns Ryan as he gets hit with the kitchen sink. Off the ropes, and again.
Now it's Dallas who's feeling it.
Picks Ryan up. Comes off the ropes for the third time with a spear! Into the cover! But not enough.
Almost the biggest upset of the tournament. He's not done. Big German suplex.
And then locks in the crab. And you can hear the crowd is just chanting. Ryan going for the butterfly suplex, but it does get blocked. He's tossed over the ropes instead. And Dallas just waiting for him to get back in the ring.
Ryan might need to take this matchup a little more seriously now, but he's in jeopardy of losing it.
He's got the arm trapped. Dallas isn't tapping. Ryan catches the face, lapel lock, and that's it.
Wow. I want to say you would take it more seriously, and he does just that and remains undefeated. 5-0 in the Grand Prix.
I mean, that if he wins one more match, he is guaranteed a spot in the finals.